Here's how you can get the most out of flight in Wuthering Waves. One of the things Wuthering Waves has got right since the beginning is movement. And by God, they've done it again with flight. Flight is one of those things that's really difficult to balance in your game. If you make it too powerful, does it make the exploration on ground meaningless? Well, let's talk about it. Flight is something you can do from any surface. Although it seems at first the game doesn't want you to fly from the ground, with a little bit of maneuvering you can make it happen. Here's what you do. Jump, attack, dash, attack, then use the flight utility. So jump, attack, dash, attack, flight. This doesn't work with every single character, but it works with most of them. It depends if they have a suitable plunge attack or not. But once you get used to that, there's no stopping you, and it feels so good. Of course, long-term players will know this as a similar strategy for doing a higher jump. If you're playing on controller, I recommend changing your preference in the settings to make it so you can use gadgets with the circle button on PlayStation controller or the B button on Xbox controller. But if you're new to Renacida, you might not be sure how to get more flight stamina. Fortunately, it's pretty simple. Thanks to the new way exploration is handled, all you have to do is open up the map, and then click this in the top left corner. You'll be able to see a list of tasks you can do in the area that you're in, or check a bunch of other areas. And all you have to do to max out your stamina is get 25% map completion in each area of Ragusa. Once you max it out, you can fly for so long, even at full speed. And if you're enjoying this video, please consider hitting the subscribe button. But if that's still not enough flight for you, there are some other options. You can eat certain foods which grant you extra flight stamina, such as the one you can buy here, or you can just take Carlotta with you. If you happen to have her, Carlotta has a passive skill that lets you have 20% more flight stamina. Generally, this is not super needed, but it's nice, especially before you max out your stamina. The wing rays around the place and all the different places you can land, considering how quickly flight stamina restores itself, makes it so that you can be in the air most of the time. You usually have more than enough flight stamina to go from point A to point B wherever you're trying to go, even without Carlotta. And speaking of specific characters, short characters really had the short end of the stick before. If you've played the likes of Encore or Verena, you might have noticed that they're kinda slow. They run slower, they can't jump as high. Such is the fate of a child. But fortunately, flight does not discriminate. If you love maining a short character, they can enjoy the same impressive speed flight grants to any other character. This is great news for me because I love Rochia. She's such a precious little baby darling. That's my daughter right there. In the Ragusa area, echoes are further apart than they used to be. This, of course, is because they're able to be further apart without making the place feel boring thanks to flight. Well, and because of some of the other movement abilities they've included on ground, but this ain't about them. Tacit discords do not feel so far apart when you can just jump into the air at any point and dive bomb them in seconds. And not only is there more simple joy in hunting echoes because of this, the world itself benefits. It's more vast, more grand than ever before, with so many interesting locations that you can spot from a mile away. In the Jinzhou region, I would get lost, looking around and not knowing exactly where I was sometimes because it was so full of green fields. But in Ragusa, everywhere you look is a delight, and you can truly appreciate that from the air. Unfortunately, it's because of how good Ragusa feels to explore that the old areas retroactively feel worse. But don't get me wrong, they still feel really good to navigate. It's just a testament to how far the design of the game has come in so short a time that Ragusa feels exponentially better. I do wonder if flight will be implemented for the older regions at some point. More than likely, they probably weren't designed to be flight compatible. Maybe there are some technical issues with the ceilings of the areas or things that you can clip into that you're not supposed to, which haven't been properly tested yet for the 1.x areas. It's hard to say, but perhaps, given enough time, the 1.0 areas will be made compatible with flight. Or maybe not. But I really hope we're able to keep flight going forward because it feels so good! Like they really nailed it completely. The sheer weight of the takeoff, the delightfully stiff controls, and all the advantages it brings to characters of every height. I love it. Flight isn't the only amazing thing that Wuthering Waves added recently though. Click the video on screen to learn why Zani is so amazing. God, she's just the best, isn't she? Now I wonder when we're gonna get glider skins. I mean, they're gonna be flight skins too, right?